You are with the Sultanate of Oman television, and we present to you tonight's news bulletin. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets His Excellency the President of Lebanon on his country's independence anniversary. His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq stresses that the achievements in the Sultanate is a product of a comprehensive development strategy. And the number of loans provided by Oman Development Bank reached 100,000 with a value of 900 million Omani riyals. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency Michel Aoun, President of Lebanon, on his country's independence anniversary. His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, stressed that whatever achieved in the Sultanate during the last 50 years, a product of a comprehensive development strategy which was implemented on various stages according to plans and studies, the most prominent of which is the Oman Vision 2040, supervised by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. His Highness added in a statement to the Oman News Agency that the Sultanate is moving along with its new renaissance under the wise leadership of His Majesty and the vision that he is in line with stability, growth, enhancing innovation and scientific research. He said that in the future, the Sultanate is bound to diversify its economic resources to enhance the incomes of the state as well as achieve sustainable development. He expressed that the march of the Omani-blessed Renaissance continues in the prosperous era of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, along with the achievements of the era of the late Sultan Qaboos. May Allah rest his soul in peace. His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq Al Saeed pointed out that the Renaissance was established on principles of equality, justice, peace, tolerance, dialogue, and brotherhood with all. Duqm city in the governorate of Al-Wusta is considered nowadays a cornerstone of Oman's future economy due to its strategic geographical location and the invested government and private sector's mega projects. Since Duqm is situated in a strategic marine route that serves to engage transportation and logistics services in Asia to the rest of the world, the Omani government has worked vigorously to ready to the area to attract local and international giant industries in Duqm. Currently, there are over 23 ongoing and completed projects in the special economic zone at Duqm, including Duqm Port, the business and trade hub that offers handling of goods and other logistics services, Duqm Dry Dock, which is expected to have the capacity to receive 2,000 ships by 2021, Duqm International Airport with a capacity to receive around 500,000 passengers per year, and a potential to grow 4 times its original size, and Duqm refinery projects with completion rate of 72% and initial production output of 223,000 barrels of crude oil when it becomes operational. The special economic zone has more to offer with around 2,000 square kilometers dedicated space for potential business, industries and projects. Wilayat of Duqm in the governorate of Al-Wusta will continue to achieve more achievements as the special economic zone is growing exponentially in accordance with Oman Vision 2040. Over the past 43 years, Oman Development Bank has offered around 100,000 loans serving various economic and service sectors with a total value nearing 900 million Omani riyals. Oman Development Bank has strengthened its partnership with the private sector and the local community through a number of facility programs and by offering consultative and technical consultancy services to business owners in addition to help owners to develop their businesses, in line with Oman 5-year plans and Oman Vision 2040. Oman Development Bank supports small and medium enterprises as well as micro businesses. The bank can support facilities up to 1 million rials with less than 3% interest rate and for a period up to 10 years. The bank also offers interest-free loans up to 5,000 Omani rials to owners of home businesses and craft industries. Oman Development Bank continues to align its strategic plans with Oman Vision's objectives, including the active engagement in supporting Oman Vision's program and indicators such as establishing a competitive and comprehensive economy that is geared towards diversification of sources of income. Now to NorthAlbatina and also the governorate of the Far Sohar and Salalah ports witnessed an increase in the number of containers that were handled during the last 9 months of the current year by 5.9%. More than 3.8 million containers were handled through both ports in September 2020 as the ports received 6,438 ships carrying more than 50 tons of commodities. The ports are considered one of the main pillars of the logistics system in the Sultanate. The unloaded fish quantities in the Sultanate recorded an increase by 40% by the end of September 2020. The National Center for Statistics and Information clarified that the quantity of fish reached more than 487,000 tons with a total value of 238 million Omani rials. Meanwhile, the governorate of Al-Wusta recorded the highest quantity of fish, followed by South Sharqiya, then North and South Albatina. And yet to come in our news bulletin, an arts exhibition is held in the Wilaya of Sohar coinciding with the celebrations of the 50th National Day. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will urge G20 leaders to take more ambitious action to defeat the coronavirus pandemic and to address climate change at a weekend virtual summit in Saudi Arabia. In remarks recorded ahead of the meeting and released today, Johnson appealed to leaders of the other nations which make up to G20 group of major economies to honor their promise to do whatever it takes to overcome the pandemic and protect lives and livelihoods. Johnson will use tomorrow's session to call on those leaders yet to make net zero commitments to make the same pledge just under a month before Britain co-hosts the Climate Ambition Summit on December 12th. And to Qatar, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo arrived in Qatar today, where representatives of the Afghan government and the Taliban continued to hold peace talks. Pompeo is expected to press for a reduction in violence in his meetings with both Taliban and government negotiating teams later today during a day-long stop in Doha. It comes after mortar shells slammed into different parts of the Afghan capital today, killing at least 8 people and wounding 31 others. The shells were fired from 2 cars. Meanwhile, the Daesh group claimed responsibility for the deadly rocket attacks. Its 28 Katyusha rockets were fired, hitting Kabul's heavily fortified green zone that houses the presidential palace, embassies, and the headquarters of Afghan forces. The story of the coronavirus has killed more than 1.37 million people since the outbreak emerged in China last December. The United States is the worst affected country with 254,424 deaths from 11.91 million cases. After the U.S., the hardest hit countries are Brazil with 168,613 deaths, India 132,726, Mexico 100,823, and the United Kingdom with 54,286 deaths. Europe recorded 365,406 deaths, Asia 186,824, the Middle East 72,909, and Africa 49,104 deaths. And back here in the Sultanate joined the world countries in celebrating the World Television Day, which falls on 21st of November each year. The National Center for Statistics and Information pointed out that the number of public and private broadcasting hours exceeded the 17,500 during last year. The center also pointed out that development programs recorded the highest percentage of public broadcasting hours by 31%. Coinciding with the Sultanate's 50th National Day celebration. With the Sultanate celebrations, an art exhibition is held in the Wilayah of Sohar by the Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. A number of artistic works were showcased in the exhibition, which will last until the 30th of November 2020. The works included portraits of His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq and the late Sultan Qaboos. May Allah rest his soul in peace, along with pictures highlighting the achievements of the blessed Renaissance. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq greets His Excellency, the President of Lebanon, on his country's independence anniversary. His Highness Sayyid Asad bin Tariq stresses that achievements in the Sultanate is a product of a comprehensive development strategy. And the number of loans provided by Oman Development Bank reached 100,000 with a value of 900 million Omani riyals. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin. We thank you for joining us, wish you a pleasant evening, and good night.